Hey everyone, welcome to Collector Chatter. Is Funko giving out Grails in a $20 mystery bag? I think so.
Sure looks like it. Collecting is the way. Now let's chat.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Collector Chatter. This is episode 96. I'm your host, Migs, here with my co-host, Charlie. As always, we're excited to be back after taking a little bit of time away. Had a couple vacations, the two of us, so,
Yeah.
got to get away, disconnect. Fun times for sure. But we're going to talk about some crazy stuff that's been happening because, like I said in the intro, Funko has a mystery bag that is only $20, and some stuff that people have been pulling is pretty interesting. Some stuff's kind of random, but there's some grails in there, or potentially going to be grails. But yeah, can't wait to talk about that. Obviously, we had the C2E2 announcement where we finally saw the actual glam shots and the official pops and soda that are going to be in that drop coming next week in Chicago. And we're going to also talk about a couple other, pretty interesting drops and things that came out that we thought caught our eye because it's kind of an interesting way that Funko is doing these like new drops
Yeah.
now with some of these new pops. But we're going to start it off with the hook, like we said from the beginning. This is about a $20 mystery bag from Funko. And
Yeah.
this is at the Funko location. So, like, obviously, like Funko Hollywood, I believe it's like 2 days. So, if you're listening to
Yep.
this, it was yesterday and today. But what's interesting is not just that they have this, which is kind of like whatever, but it's kind of like what people are pulling in this. And it is truly random because there's a big group of random stuff. But it seems like there's some stuff that's interesting that they still have it.
It's
Like, why
giving
do
me
they still have
Buckeye Warehouse
it?
like
Literally.
sale vibes.
Yeah, it's literally the same thing. I mean, I know you kind of have some thoughts on like what some of these pops like. Obviously, let's just name one of the
Yeah.
big ones. It's the Fairly Odd Parents 3 pack is being found in one of these bags, and again, it's a mystery bag. Like it's literally a bag. It's a black bag or whatever. You open it up, and you don't know what's in there. Could be a couple pops. Could be a rewind soda. I saw some people were opening biddies. But this one I think was the one I was. There's other ones that we'll talk about, but this one was the
Yep.
one that kind of like I thought was a little weird, right?
Yeah. Not, I mean, it's super weird, especially because like this basically crashed the website when this came out. When it was the con exclusive, it sold out instantly. It was the hottest one of the con. And it also was that controversy because the shared exclusive was in that random store that was only in like the
Yeah,
Midwest. I don't remember the
it's
name of it.
true.
It starts with an M, but
Yep.
and yeah, now people are getting this. I mean, that pop cost, I think it was like a $40 pop to begin with.
Hmm.
So now you're getting
Yeah,
it
three pack.
for 50% off, including other pops in the bag. So that one's weird. And like you said, bitty pops, but they're getting like the Batman Blacklight San Diego Comic Con exclusives show only are showing up in
Yeah.
there. We're getting New York Comic Con show only pops. Like I don't, I mean, it's cool. Those ones don't bother me as much, but the Fairly Odd Parents one to me is like, why is this in here? They should have put that back up in a restock and sold it to everyone who wanted it.
Yeah, and we've seen a couple people pull it, so it's obviously like they had
Yeah.
a number of them, and clearly like what this is, like you said, it's definitely like the Buckeye thing. It's just liquidation, like getting rid of stuff, which we already know they kind of do every year, anyways. And like I don't mind it in the sense of like, all right, whatever, they're gonna get rid of stuff. They do it
Yeah.
in a cool, fun way. You don't know where you're gonna get. All right, whatever. It's just I guess it comes back to like what we've always harped on with the whole thing of like if something's considered exclusive or you're only supposed to get it at a certain place or there's a certain number of them, like why do magically we get these other ones that are still out there? That's where it's always like, and it's clearly not going to change because this is still happening.
Never
It's
changing.
always happening. And it must just be that they really just have, whether it's fake numbers or it's always set aside all these extra ones, which may be why maybe they use these to replace like damaged ones, which we've kind of seen happen. But it is a little weird. I mean, some of the ones that were like con exclusive stickers are the ones that kind of stick out too. Like I know there was the Phil D. Graves one, which I think that was the actual box I got, which
Yep.
I obviously had the shared one for New York Comic Con. But the New York Comic Con sticker glow in the dark versions of those mascots, which were supposed to be sold out because remember we were even there
And we
and we
couldn't
knew
get
that
them.
like yeah they were sold out. Uh, and someone was pulling these and two of them. So they're obviously, they were pulling multiples of these. The Freddie Bones at Blacklight one, like you said, which was the con exclusive version. That's coming up in these. And then there's obviously random DC pops and sports
Yeah, and
pops
there's
and
really just some like comments.
yeah, normal and like some Star Wars stuff and Disney stuff. So it's clearly a mixture of things. There's even sodas. There's a rewind. I saw a video someone opened up and they had a rewind. So
You know, it was a con exclusive one, like
yeah, and it's totally cool because it's $25 or 20. Is it 20 bucks?
20.
25 bucks.
It's
20
20
bucks. Yeah.
bucks.
20 bucks. And it's like, all right, cool, whatever. You're getting cool amount of stuff for $20. But like even Joy said, it's funny, like even that Fairly Odd Parents one, like right now it's probably about like $100, I think, right now.
Yeah,
That like shared exclusive one, even Joe, maybe this will bring the the price down. But people, they're getting it for less than retail. So it's not like they're just getting it at that discount
yeah.
from like what the value is, quote unquote. They're getting it less than what you would have bought it on the actual con. So it's, I don't know what else to say because I'm not surprised by this. It's just another thing that kind of comes out. It's not like a shocker. But I don't know. What does everybody else think? Because is this really a big deal? Is this just like whatever? Who cares? Funko's just gonna do this and get rid of stuff. Um, that's probably the only one because it's about $100. That's probably the only one that's really considered a quote unquote grail that we've seen at least.
Yeah.
Because there might be other stuff that we don't really know about. But I would love to see like maybe some more people opening them, and then even today, tomorrow as we're recording this to see if more people put out videos and pictures are coming out. Because right now it's very limited. We only have a few people putting these out. And I wonder if like people thought this was going to be kind of trash. So not as many people went and like
Probably.
try to get them, Because to me, every time I hear of like a mystery bag, I think of like Hot Topic. Hot Topic has been doing mystery bag stuff for like ever. And it was usually like garbage, random stuff that they would
Yeah.
have in their things. Uh, so yeah, it's kind of funny that now Funko's doing this as a way to
Which
get
Funko's
stuff.
even tried to do that on their website before, and we all know it's bad, but they attach like an exclusive Freddy to it. Where this, at least, and you know what? I can be positive about this as well. I mean, if I bought one of these and I got that Fairly Odd Parents, I'd be like, this is awesome. Like,
Yeah,
it actually is cool Funko's doing it. For me, it's more just like whenever they knew the internet was blowing up about this Funko Pop, they knew everyone
yeah,
wanted
yeah,
it. If they had extras, they should have put this one back up on the website. But that's all. Like, and quite frankly, they lost money,
yeah.
which is
Because
kind
people
of
would have bought
ironic.
it at the retail
Yeah.
price, honestly, which is very
So they need
odd.
to be a little
To
more in tune with that, I
Really Odd
think.
Parents. Yeah, they're not really getting it in terms of that stuff, but it's still like you said, I would be excited too if I was able to get it. Like, and like you said, Funko's actually still doing this because even on their site now, they're doing like a mystery thing. They're doing mystery sodas
Yep.
and they've done mystery
Pops.
pops. The mystery sodas is fairly new because we've never really ever seen that. I don't know if I've seen people opening or pulling that yet or what they get out of that. I could just imagine might be the most random sodas because if you look at their site, they still have so many sodas up that are
Yeah.
just
It's
common stuff
basically
that's not
you're
selling.
gonna get something I think that's available, but
Oh yeah. I
it's
mean,
still cheaper than
you
any
would
of the sodas
think,
that are
unless they
available.
have some crazy
You would
con
think.
grail in there. Then you'd be like, oh wow, that'd be awesome. Uh, but I did want to mention this because looking at one of these pictures, which was someone had put up a couple of the pops that they pulled up, like Phil the Graves, the Biddy Pops. So it looks like they were at Funko Hollywood. And I think the Odd Parents one, the person I pulled it was at Funko Hollywood. I actually went to Funko Hollywood. I do want to mention that because I completely forgot, which
Yep.
is pretty cool. It's the first time ever. On one of my trips, I was actually over in California. I was in San Diego visiting my brother, family over there. We were just, having a good time. And we decided one day to make a trip up to LA because it was close enough to drive. Took about 2.5 hours. Traffic is terrible over there. But on the way there, we're like, oh, we'll just kind of do like some stuff in LA. We don't really know anything. He's never been. I've never been. Neither has our wives. None of us have gone. So we wanted to do the Walk of Fame, see the stars, see the Hollywood sign or
Your
whatever.
brother
Not,
never went to LA before and he lives in San Diego.
no, yeah. Well, he's only been staying for 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so he hasn't.
I'm surprised by that.
But that's because so this is the thing. He's been told by everybody that lives out there or who's been out there for longer that it's trash and it's not worth it.
Okay.
And going there, I kind of saw that. And he, same thing. But both of us were like, you know what? We want to just go and just, we'll make up our own little, mind on it. And I mean, I could agree. It's kind of trashy over there. Uh, but yeah, he's never been. So we were like, we'll just do it for a day. We took a trip up there. We did the, Hall of Fame area. And what was funny was as soon as we got there, there's like a parking lot right when you get off the highway, essentially. and right in that parking lot goes downstairs. It's under the Funko Hollywood. Like it's a parking lot that says literally park here, so you can go there and there's a couple food places or whatever. So I was like, oh, it's Funko Hollywood. I was like, if I'm here, I was like, and they're not like big fans, whatever. And I'm like, can we go in there? We have kids with us. So I was like, oh, they'll like it in there. They loved it in there. It was massive. It was a lot bigger than I thought. But you don't have to go rambling on it because I'm sure some people out there probably have gone. But it's definitely a really cool store. And I was able to grab like a Funko Hollywood Freddy exclusive one that they have there with like the launch fly. That one was really cool. And there was like a lot of awesome rooms, but they have so many pops. And even I'm seeing like some of the stuff that some other people had, and there's mystery bags. It's like common stuff that they had there because every section of a different IP, they literally just have like all of those pops that are from there that
Yeah.
are like currently on the Funko site essentially. And they pretty much had them in person. So that was cool. But yeah, I did make it out there, so that was cool. Because being on the East Coast, it's like we don't have anything over here, so I had to kind of make my rounds into that store. So I did want to mention that. But yeah, mystery bag. I don't know. Let us know what you guys think. Is this something cool? Like I said, if you're able to get it, I'm sure it is pretty cool. It's a way of them just kind of dumping extra product. But what do you think about these like sudden grails and random things that are being popped up in there? I think that's the part that's a little sketch. But it is what it is. It's Funko. Not super surprised by it. We'll shift over to the con stuff that we're going to talk about, which is C2E2. So I did want to have us run through like we've done in the past. We always do this for the cons when it comes to what is coming out and kind of our thoughts on some of these. This is not a huge con. Looks like there's what, 3, 6, 9,
It's
12,
very small.
about like 14 items maybe in total. And then like a t-shirt. So not a ton of stuff. There is a soda, which is weird. There's only one, and a few pops. And this is also the introduction into a new character, which we have spoken about as well. We're gonna get her in pop form. So, yeah, we can kick it off. You could start off, Charlie. You can go.
Yeah.
Basically, I don't know. Are you looking
I,
at the one with everything on it, or the individual ones
I'm looking at the one with everything on it, but I can
that
do the
has all
individual.
the?
Shoot, you want to start with the individual ones and just work our way up, which is
Yeah,
easier.
we could do it that way, just so we know what the names of some of
Yeah, cool.
these anime people are.
Yeah, so we're gonna start off with, even though I've learned these now, we're gonna start off with the One Piece, which these will be
Yes.
the two easily grails of this con. We're getting the wanted poster for Shanks, which I think this one's pretty sick.
Mhm.
I've become a big fan of these, even though they're a little bigger. These ones, I think they actually justify them making these. They're super cool, in my opinion.
Are they bigger than like a VHS and like
No,
those
no,
ones?
they're the size of those.
Okay, okay, cool. Yeah, I
You
haven't seen one of these. Oh yeah, I
you
do have
you
the
have one.
dude. What the hell, bro? I
I
have
was
the
just about
Luffy.
to say.
Yeah, I'm like thinking in my head. I'm like, what am I talking about?
they're not
Uh,
like they're not ridiculously big if you wanted to collect like these
yeah,
and then we're getting Caesar the Clown, which first appearance in Funko form. I think this is going to be pretty popular too.
yeah,
Some of these actually have already been being found at Emerald City Comic Con, which is complete BS. And, resellers are selling for ungodly amounts of money. So I'm sure if you're listening, don't be those people who buy those because you're going to be able to get them next week
yeah.
for retail. I mean, I think this was going for like $300.
What?
It's going to be 15. I mean, yes, it did have the con sticker on it. It's not the
Yeah,
shared, but um yeah, I think these are super sick. What about you?
yeah. I think they're definitely awesome. The wanted posters are awesome. Like it's such a great concept and idea. Like obviously I love the albums, which are the original like
Yeah.
out of the box, big style, not your normal pop thing that they did. And then they kind of ran with that. They obviously did the comic covers, they did the VHS covers, big movie ones, and then now they have these. So it's just another iteration of that. But I've always thought this one was one of the best, besides the like OG
Yep.
uh actual music ones. I think these are probably like the next best, if not the best. And it's cool because it's only been like the One Piece stuff. Obviously, that's a big deal. And they're all pirates and they're wanted. So like it's cool that they have their individual versions and they're coming out with them. And there's a few of them already. And yeah, they're very sought after. They're very popular. And I think this is a good one to kind of just continue. Obviously, we're going to keep getting those. They seem like a lot of them are con exclusives when they've been coming out.
Which I like.
So that's good. And then the other pop is an awesome looking one. I don't necessarily know that character myself because I haven't gotten super deep into it. I do, enjoy it, but it's an awesome looking mold and it has a mouth on it, which is always interesting when you get
I
that
yeah.
on a Funko Pop because they don't do it all the time. They obviously do it with like, the Joker has it. Pennywise, who's right behind me, actually has it. But with this one, you're getting that face, which is really cool, which I still think is interesting. They never did it with Luffy. 'Cause
Well, it's
that's
funny.
if
That's what I was just
they're
saying.
doing
You
it
bring that
here.
up. People are like losing their mind that they didn't put that on like the Gear 5 Luffy, but they
Yeah.
did on this. Like, it's just a
Yeah, they're
whole other
picking and
thing,
choosing and how they do it
which
is
makes
what's like
no
odd.
sense.
It makes you show like they probably have this giant team and one person denies something and somebody else designs it completely in a different area and they're like, yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
bring
we're
out
good.
both of those. But yeah, both those are really great. And just to touch on one thing about the sticker thing you were talking about, I just think it's so crazy that with cons specifically, like big cons, like the variance in the sticker price of a con exclusive versus like a non-con one, I still think it's just bananas, especially if you're not getting it at the actual con.
Completely
I
agree.
just don't understand it. I don't know that. I think I would never will understand it, like with that whole thing. But the next one up is pretty sick. I think it's probably the best of the actual entire convention. One of
Agreed.
the best Marvel pops probably ever made. Like this is pretty big deal. In terms of just how cool it was. And it's obviously a Tony Stark as he's returns. It's called Tony Stark Returns as Iron Man. And it's basically him when he's, transforming into a suit, which we know there's so many different versions in the MCU that we've seen him do, like where the suit is just basically taking him over. And this one is like him with his glasses. That's an awesome look. He's got a suit on, but the mask of the Iron Man's coming over his head. The
It's
sides are coming
awesome.
up. One whole side is Iron Man, one else is not. So very great. This mold, one of the best molds I think they've ever done. And this is why like we still can't be like Funko will never be good again. It's like
No,
because they'll randomly put out stuff like this, which is very fire. And I think that's gonna be probably a big hit for this con if I had to make. And I think Marvel wise, we probably haven't gotten something that
no.
people are that excited for in a really long time.
This
For
is the best Marvel pop they've made in, dare I say, years.
mhm.
Like, couldn't agree with you more. I do think this is the best pop of the con. I don't think it'll be as hard to get as like the One Piece ones will, but I do think this will eventually sell out. Because I mean, Iron Man holds a special place in most Marvel collectors' hearts, so they're
Yeah.
gonna go after
Just
this.
just real quick, I want to say this. So because I'm looking at it on my computer, so I'm able to kind of scroll over the pictures. Out of all the posts, so on the original Funko site, out of all the individual posts that they put, they obviously have likes and stuff, right?
Yep.
And like there's a Dragon Ball Z one that we'll talk about later,
Oh,
has like
I'm
yeah,
looking what you're about to
11,000
say.
likes. Panda has 28,000. There's another one with 12. Even the Wanted poster we just talked about is 15. This Tony Stark one has 47,000 likes. So it's clearly the cream of the crop, even more than that Wanted poster and anything with the
I'm actually
monkeys. So
happy you just pointed that out
yeah,
because like there's a few pops in here that I will get. And like part of me, like we did last time, it's like I want this poster. I'm gonna get this poster. I'm gonna
yeah,
check
we
out,
just
and then
did
I'll come
one.
back. But like maybe you can't treat the Iron Man as like no one's gonna want it
No,
now after you
oh
said
yeah,
that.
no, I think this is gonna be a big one. Very very cool.
Next one, we've talked about this, and obviously the rumors came true. We're getting a Jimmy Cricket soda. This is actually one of my favorite characters. Um, I love this soda. I think, as we've said, sodas are still on their way out. They're going to make them special and for cons, in my opinion, until there's no more left in production.
Yeah,
Because if I was to bet, this probably wasn't originally a C2E2 con exclusive. Super cool. Chase is a little weak,
yeah, it's
but
weak.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
it's
is
weak.
what it is. Still super cool. And then we're also getting, I actually think this is awesome. This came unexpected to me. I don't remember seeing this in rumors. It's a 2-pack of Woody and Buzz playing video games. It's an
Hmm.
iconic scene from the originals. And I love even with the detail with you see Buzz's foot and it says Andy on it.
Yep.
I just, this pop is actually really cool. I think this one will be popular as well.
Yeah, this one should be one of the pop ones. Usually there is a multi-pack that's kind of like a big deal, and this is definitely it. It's Woody's Buzz. They're two iconic characters. Obviously, Toy Story is a big deal. We got the news of the new Toy Story coming out, so obviously, like, it's a lot of hype behind it. But this is a cool one in the sense of like it's a great scene. It looks really cool. They're playing with the game, with the video game. I think they even make a couple other toys. Don't they make like a Rex that he's like a gamer playing with a
Yep,
game?
yep,
It's
they
like
do.
there's like a few different things like that. But yeah, this one is a great one for sure, and probably one of my favorites besides Tony Stark for sure of this set. Then we got a Simpsons pop. This is actually Poochie, which I don't really know this character. I feel like I don't know. But he's like rocking out. It's kind of funny because at first I thought when I first saw this like mold and everything, I thought he was like part of Max and Goofy, like a Goofy movie.
Oh,
Like it looks like he would be like one of his friends or something. It's more like the him than a
I can
Simpson,
see that. I
in
can
my
see that.
opinion. But yeah, it's a Simpsons character. Don't crucify me if you guys are hardcore Simpson fans. I'm a Simpson fan, but I just don't know this character.
It's a
But
pretty
it,
niche character.
but yeah, it's a cool looking one though, with the glasses on and the backwards hat and everything. So that's gonna be one that if you're a big Sims fan, they do a lot during cons. Getting
Which is
another
cool.
one.
It's like you probably have something to look forward to when a con comes, and I like this is a niche one.
Mhm.
So next one, we're getting a Poe from Kung Fu Panda. I mean, there's plenty of Poe Funko Pops. I feel like there's probably even a new line that just is gonna be coming out with a new movie, which is probably why this one's here. It's cool if you like the movies, and I do like them, but it's not something that I would pick up. And
Mhm.
I don't think this is much special about this pop, in my opinion, for it to be how we always say cons should be special. Like
Yeah. No, I
I don't
agree.
think this one
I
is.
mean, like there is a lot of them, so it's just another one. Interesting enough, it is the second most like photo
Which
out
is
of all of
weird. I know. I
them.
right after you said that, I went to go look. I just it's so I find that interesting
Yeah, so that is a bit odd.
because I think some people have already seen this one at Target. I
Okay.
believe it's a Target. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So,
So next one is a Pokemon one. This is a weird looking mold. I don't know this Pokemon.
oh
It
yeah,
is
it
a
is. It looks like something to me.
yeah, it looks like an anatomy. If you're in biology class, you probably see this. It is a jumbo size pop. So they do a lot of these for Pokemon, jumbo size pops. This is Cresselia. I really know nothing about this. This is definitely one of those newer
Before our
Pokemon
time with Pokemon.
characters. Yeah, but if you're a fan of it, getting another Pokemon pop, but I don't think it's anything. I definitely would never get that.
Yeah, me either. Like you said, it looks weird, and I don't know. One thing they do that I don't like, and I wish they stopped, was if I feel like only like certain like Pokemon should get the jumbo size ones.
Mhm.
Like Charizard should have it, for example, which I know it does, but then like maybe there shouldn't be a normal size Charizard, and it should just be like Charmander. Like
Yeah,
they just if there's they will eventually make like a bigger mold, a 10-inch out of the normal molds, and I think they should stop doing that. But
yeah.
that's just me. I'm sure Pokemon collectors will disagree with me. Um, this next one is from Naruto, and it is Madara. I'm gonna butcher this.
Mhm.
Uchiha. It looks super cool.
Sounds just like it. I think
Yeah,
that's it.
it looks super cool.
Yeah, they always look really cool. Like the molds are great.
But that's really all. I'm sure this will be popular, even though this has a pretty low count of likes. Now you really got me looking at this like ratio. I find it
I don't know if that really
it's
means anything
interesting.
because what's funny is that it had the higher number of comments though. So like people are still commenting on that one. Not the
Yeah, yeah.
highest, but people are still commenting. Maybe they're commenting that they don't like it. I don't know. Who knows? Next one, another, anime. Anime is pretty heavy on this little drop. We do have one from My Hero, and this is Mirio Togata. Uh, don't know much about this character. Cool looking, looks kind of like a animated version of Speed Racer, almost looks like a Dragon Ball Z Speed Racer
Yeah, it
mix.
looks like a Dragon Ball Z pop to me.
Yeah, it does, and it's not. It's My Hero, but don't kill us. We're not fans, but
Yeah, we're not. I
it is what
mean,
it is. If you like it, if you're a hero fan, My Hero fan, you got another pop coming.
which I feel like that used to be so hype, and like I don't think it is anymore at all.
Yeah, it really, to me, it definitely has died out too as well.
This next one is I don't know why Funko keeps making these. I don't think anyone wants these. This will be sitting on the website. It is a random version of the Green Lantern.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
one of the Justice League like line,
yeah, it's the
a very comic-y. Yeah.
yeah, very comic-y, which I guess at the end of the day is good for Comic Cons. I don't normally put that into consideration. Like it's but the comic fan, like the Funko fans are now going to the Comic Cons. It's not like only for comic nerds, so it doesn't really
Hmm.
matter. Yeah, I don't think this is a strong one at all.
Yeah. Then next up we have a Dragon Ball Z one. Like I mentioned earlier, this is one of the ones that has like kind of the higher likes. Dragon Ball Z obviously still popular. We got Buddy, Yajirobe, and Karen. So it's like a little, almost looks like a fat Goku and like a little cat or something. So I know Dragon Ball Z, I love Dragon Ball Z, but not like a lot of the newer, or I don't even know if this is newer or not, but I don't really know this character too much. But yeah, it's just another Dragon Ball Z one. There's so much in this line already, but not something that I'm gonna really go after.
I feel like the rest of these are kind of lame until we get to the final batch. But we have a Looney Tunes Egghead Jr.
Hmm.
Looney Tunes fan. I'm sure you love it. I know me and you aren't. I feel like the Looney Tunes exclusives as of late kind of do sit, even though
Hmm.
I guess some of the most recent ones were kind of lame with the like mashup with Harry Potter and whatnot. But yeah, this one's cool if you like Looney Tunes, but not for me.
Yeah. And then the last little batch here is we do have some mascot people. Obviously,
Yeah,
we got some Freddies. So, usually they do this theme for this year is Funko Air. This is, I think, is what they're calling it, and it's like the stewardess airline style theme. And we are getting a Funko. His first officer, no, it's not the first officer. Freddy Funko is like a pilot, basically, and it looks pretty awesome. Like the molds are cool, the hat, like, it obviously fits into the whole airline. He's a pilot thing. And then we do have, like I said, First Officer Proto, which is another little cool looking, version of Proto. He's fitting along with airlines. Like I think it's pretty cool to have the three of these. I wish it was kind of a three pack, honestly, instead of individual.
completely
But I
agree.
guess that would kind of take away from the last one, which obviously is going to be the first ever time we're getting a pop version of Franny Funko, which of course we had an episode talking about this because this is a big deal. We finally got a female version, and it's Freddie's twin sister, Franny. And she's gonna be like a stewardess, classic look with a she looks kind of like from Pan Am, basically, like that old style version of her. I don't know if like we both kind of talked about like if this is like the first version they should have went with, where it just seems too stereotypical, like in the wrong direction than what they should have gone with. But with the theme, I understand it, I get it. With them all coming out together, it kind of makes sense. They fit each other, whatever. But what are your thoughts on either the three of them or
I mean, I like all three of them. I completely agree with you. I can't help but laugh because the internet, like, if there's Funko being Funko, they had such a great moment of them saying that we're having a now female version, and yeah, they make her stewardess. In my opinion, if they really wanted to go that way, I would not have made people are like, you made a dog a pilot and not a
yeah.
female. They should have made him uh, a flight attendant as well, in my opinion. So you have Freddie as
Yeah.
the pilot and then both of them as flight attendants. And I don't know if people would have been as angry. I
That's true.
I just people this did not was not a good look for Funko. It doesn't bother me as much because once again, no one was thinking this. It's going along with the theme. It's also everything for them always has to be
Mhm.
retro. So
Yeah, it
like
fits that
it
whole
just
retro thing.
fits it.
Yeah.
Doesn't bother me, but I don't want to discredit people it does bother, and it does bother a lot of people.
Hmm.
But I still think they're cool, and I do want to get it.
Yeah, for sure. Being the first one makes it even a little more exciting. But it just kind of makes you think what's going to happen with the whole, the rest of what they're going to go with this character. Like, what are they going to make her into? And it's going to be
A
interesting to see that.
housewife.
Yeah. Can't wait to see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're going to do that. Yeah. Oh, my God. If they really go into that route, they just are totally just,
They're
I don't know,
they've lost it.
deaf. Yeah. Uh, But yeah, that's gonna be it for the C2E2 stuff. So, like we said, not a huge set. I know we're pretty much probably fans of similar ones. Of course, like the Freddy Franny Proto trio is nice. And then even some of the first ones we talked about, like with the One Piece, and then for sure the Tony Stark, probably are like the best of the bunch. And then, if you guys are fans of some anime or some other characters, maybe you'll go out the other ones. I think a lot of those will be sitting around, whether,
Agreed.
where, but we'll see. But yeah, that's C2E2 stuff. We're going to switch over to something that I think is kind of cool, but at the same time, I don't get like the route that they went with this. But we are getting more exclusive stuff that's outside of the box. So that's the best way I could say it. So it's not just exclusive to a big retailer that we normally get. I know we started getting some stuff for like some events and things like that. And they just announced, and they've like had a crazy rollout for this, a new Doja Cat. And I mean, if I know she's like a popular, artist, and amongst the youth out there, they're probably big fans of her. The cool thing I think about this is that it's being dropped as an exclusive to Coachella, which is pretty cool because they've never really done that. Obviously, they haven't done it to like real big events like that in general. So it's cool that we're getting that. I think it opens it up to, potentially some other cool ways of getting these exclusives out for Coachella going forward. I just think it was a little weird that it's Doja Cat. I don't know. Maybe we're just not in like with this being a big deal, but if you are, maybe it is. So I saw some people getting kind of excited when they had this little like reveal video that they did, which was a silhouette of her. But everyone was kind of going wild. So maybe she is just that popular out there with this like generation. I don't know. But I don't know. What do you think? I mean, the pop looks pretty interesting too.
Yeah, I'm on the
So
same page with you. Like, I mean, not my cup of tea, but I do love the idea of them doing these like pre-order exclusives for big events, big pop culture things in the zeitgeist, in my opinion, though. This isn't what they should have done for the moment for them to do a pre-order. I weirdly would have, they want to break the internet. They should have made a Caitlin Clark Funko Pop, and they could have been the first ever WNBA because it's just the draft and she went number one. I
mhm.
think that's a little cooler than because I don't think Doja Cat was like the premier act of Coachella. Like
Yeah, that's the
that's where
part
I
that I
think
was
it's
confused. I mean, was
weird.
she the main headliner
I
this year?
I, I don't know,
Might have
so don't
been. I
quote me,
don't
but
know.
I don't. I feel like they just were able. She's never had a Funko Pop before, and whoever they were smart enough to put two and two together, like let's make this special. We know the music pops don't do that well in general,
Yeah.
and like this is the one to do it with, but it's still cool. I don't want to knock it. Like I like the idea. I like that Funko is getting people hyped, but like I don't think this falls in line of the DunKings or the Jason Kelce ones that they've done.
Yeah.
I just don't. I think that
Yeah.
another one they recently did though. Well, no, go. We'll talk
No,
about
no, I
that.
was just gonna say real quick because I'm reading through some comments. I want to say something because they're kind of funny. Just to kind of stick with her, is that like it is a pre-order thing, like you said, which we're gonna talk about something else that's a little bit cooler on the pre-order side. But yeah, it's interesting that they're doing it. Like I like that they did that. They started with the Jason Kelce. We thought it was weird because we've never seen it, but it was awesome because it's a way of them really limiting what they're making. I think maybe that's the route why they're doing this, so they don't have just extra stock sitting
Agreed.
around because they can actually get the orders to make them and then ship them out, and that's it. These aren't necessarily like numbered pieces, but they're going to be limited if in reality. Someone's like saying like everyone's hating on it now. Don't sleep. Because these made to order pops just like Jason Kelce. So basically they're saying like, like look out, this is just kind of a cool way of doing that. Someone else was like, when I think famous festival performers, my mind always goes to the one and only Doja Cat, but with eye roll emoji. So clearly they didn't mean that. But then other people are like, why are you hating on this? You have no taste. So like, there's clearly
Yeah.
like people that are loving it in a way because they must just be really fans. Someone else, this is hilarious. It's flocked. That makes it 100% better. I need this because of course like there's a lot of stuff going on with her, her hair, and she had clapped back on a lot of people on Twitter and stuff. So I think that's pretty funny. But yeah, interesting pop nonetheless. It's, definitely not for me. Although that 413 is my original area code where I grew up though, that number. So pretty cool. But yeah, to transition over to another kind of way, pre-order pop because it's now becoming kind of a thing. This one fits more into like the original Jason Kelce one. This is sports related. This is a huge, icon out there. And this, of course, is with WWE and specifically Wrestlemania, which had just recently passed. And WrestleMania has now really become, well, not now, but lately has really been
This was the
blowing up
biggest
a
WrestleMania
lot.
ever.
Yeah, this specific one for sure. But I feel like in general for the last few years
Yep.
with the whole 2 day event and like
Yes.
I don't remember WrestleMania ever being like that for the longest time. But now this is the way it is. It's the new norm. And of course, one of the biggest ever, The Rock, of course, came back again. He's done this kind of in the past with WrestleMania, but this one and this came out like right away, which is what's pretty cool. And that's what
Yeah.
I kind of like about this because it does seem like they can do it relevant to what it is and then make the mold because they can create one of these like, mock-ups pretty
Immediately.
quick. Yeah, it's art, right? So obviously he was in this outfit that he comes out as, and they
It was
consider him
sick.
the final boss is what they're calling it. And it is a pre-order one. So that's an awesome way to get this again. But this one I think we both agree is an awesome looking one. It's great. And it kind of really is a great way to do this whole push of the pre-order. I'm not sure like how long are these is it the same? I know Jason Kelce had like a certain limit. Do you know
I
if
don't
this one
know
is
if
still?
I'm not sure. But one thing they did do with this that bothered me. So I actually, it's funny you talk about WrestleMania hype. Like I can't tell you the last time I watched wrestling, but I watched this WrestleMania
Yeah?
because like I was like I love Dwayne Johnson and like I just love everything that he's been doing with The Rock again. And when I saw this, I'm like, I need to go back and like I watched the clips of it because it's on Peacock, so I
Yeah.
didn't watch it from start to finish. But they made a big deal as a Fanatics exclusive, and you know what? I actually had like $20 to Fanatics, so actually got this for free. Like
Oh well.
I want. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I can never like. Why not get it? And then Funko put it on their website as a pre-order.
Yeah.
That I thought was like weird.
Okay,
Um,
so it was originally just a regular Fanatics type pre-order,
only
right? Okay, yeah.
Fanatics pure. That's what they said. Fanatics exclusive. Then all of a sudden, Funko. It's not like they just slid it onto their website. They put it on their homepage, like WrestleMania, like
Yeah, like the
pre-order
Jason
the final. Yeah,
Kelce, like
exactly.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that was a little like, dude, pick a lane, but still super sick. Because, like you said, he had never worn this outfit. This is what he came out with in WrestleMania, and like one thing I saw though on social media, Funko had a presence at WrestleMania. So there was a
Yeah.
partnership. I mean, they had like photo ops with like huge Funkos that you kind of like that you would see in the store. Um, so they can easily, okay, they knew Rock was probably going to look like this. They probably already did start it up a little bit, had that ready to go. But I think they need to be doing this way more often. This is what they need to be doing for sports. I say this all the time. Screw this stupid like 5 pack, and whoever wins the MVP
Yeah.
of the winning team, they get the Funko Pop, holding the trophy, call it a day. That's what they should be doing.
Yeah. And they like slowly tried it, like they did that with the Steph Curry's holding the trophy, but it doesn't, it's not released in an exciting way where
Yeah,
like they could do it, like you said, where it's that, championship one. But making it like a pre-order like this would definitely be more exciting. And it kind of, they don't have to have it already made. So it's an
exactly.
easy, is an easy way for them to keep it relevant to an existing, because some of these ones they may have made and then these players change teams and stuff so often, and then like it's just like the timing may not be right. So doing it this way, I think, would be the best way. But yeah, WrestleMania definitely was big. Clips were all over the place. I didn't watch it, but I'd obviously seen enough of the clips. I think one of the cool things about The Rock now coming back is like really like he's coming back as a heel, really,
Yeah,
like it seems, and it's like that he's had that journey of being like the cool, everyone loved and people hated him for a little while, it's back and forth. So he's kind of just falling back into that. So, it's definitely popular enough that this was a great pickup by them. And it also added it to a ton of other WWE pops. So like there was like a huge wave of stuff and like kind of centered around, WrestleMania specifically.
yeah,
And that was, kind of just another pop to add to that, wave that's really just growing for Funko. But yeah, ton of those. Some of those are like OG ones, which is cool that they still do that. They'll throw in some OG stuff, and then they got some new people, and they keep mixing them out when they drop them. Some of the newer ones, I'm not like the biggest. Like I don't really know too many of them, so I don't want to go into too many of those names. We don't know them as much.
yeah.
Uh, but there was a interesting way. I think you did want to mention this because I know you're a fan. diehard of Star Wars, but there was a pretty cool wave that did drop, right?
Yeah,
For
like we have
episode
been
one.
waiting for prequel pops episode one, and we got a lot of cool ones. We got an all range of a bunch of different types. So we got Queen Amidala on a throne, so that's deluxe pop. We got deluxe pop with Darth Maul, which is sweet. We got Jar Jar Binks throwing the balls, which people have been wanting this Funko Pop actually
Yeah,
for a long time. So that one's cool. We got the first ever version of Obi-Wan is that way, which that's I think going to be super popular pop, especially for people going to the cons who want to meet Ewan McGregor. And then we got a battle droid, which is also sweet because we haven't had that. Watto, weirdly enough, this was a con pop like a few years ago. I don't think this one should have been put in this collection. I don't know if people have been hating on it, but I think it's like almost exactly the same pop.
yeah,
Then we got, most of these were all awesome. Can't really complain. I think this is one of the most hyped um, you know, reveals they've had in a long time for like a set of common pops. We then got an Anakin wearing his pod racing gear and Padme when she's just like herself out on, with the Jedi and Anakin like in her disguise, which there is not a Padme pop of that. So
yeah.
most of these are all new for the most part, which is cool.
What do you think about they do this, right? And then they take the exact same molds for some of these and they drop them as the retro line
Yeah. Um,
because they
I
do
don't
that.
they did do that. Yeah, I wasn't gonna say that. I don't see the point that's where they kind of lose themselves. I mean, they're cool. I'm not gonna say I don't like them. The Queen Amidala one though, that one like I don't think we even have that mold yet in a common like version. There's a pop that looks like that um from the OG set, but I don't believe we have a modern day one that looks like that. So I found that weird. The Darth Maul one is like it looks like the original Funko Pop. So like they're not even all matching
Yeah,
the lines. And
yeah,
I think I would have been I wouldn't hate on this if it wasn't that Jar Jar and that Obi-Wan, that same
that
mold.
which are exactly, yeah,
They
like
should
the
have used
ones that
different
they're.
molds and people wouldn't be,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like,
That's why I brought it up because it was
no,
like, why do that exact same thing? It's just
yeah, I agree.
whenever they have something that's like, oh, that was great, you killed it, like they kind of do something that makes you like scratch your head and like,
Yeah. And
why'd you do that?
I'll be the first to admit, like, I collected that retro line. I thought they were super cool when they came out. But this, once again, is like something that Funko needs to realize. Like, people were so hyped about this line, and then they didn't tarnish it, but like, now it's like, okay, we threw in a few more money grabber type things.
Yeah, it's getting to the range of overdoing like what happened
Yeah,
with the black lights and some of those
exactly. They
other
just need to stop
ones.
doing that. But
Yeah,
overall, I still think it was a pretty awesome hype, and a lot of people on social I noticed were talking about it, making videos, getting excited. So that's good for Funko.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I know you would be
Those
excited
should have
for
been the
that.
NFT pops, quite frankly.
For that, yeah, that's a whole nother thing. I did want to touch upon this before we end. I think it's probably one of the last things we really want to talk about. This happened a little while ago, but I did want to mention it just because we didn't really get into it because we've been gone for a few weeks. But the Project Fred stuff is still coming out, and we officially started getting the drop of the actual Coke and Sprite wave, which I don't know if we ever officially talked about that. I know
I
we
don't
had
know if
that
we did.
leak video, and it was like labels and stuff, and like big brands that were going to come out as potential Project Freds. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to kind of say, like, I still think this is kind of a bust thing for them. I see kind of like where they potentially were trying to go with this, and who they're kind of, it looks like they're basing this off of as far as like other companies like Bear Bricks and other people like that who have been doing this for a long time and that's all they do. I just think that's where they're kind of tone deaf, where it's like you're Funko, you do a specific thing for a specific type of people. I don't think switching over is really a smart thing.
No.
But the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because it's like I know this ended. I don't think it's sold out like the other one, right? The very first one was like that crazy thing where it was like boom, everything was gone. Or not that it sold out, but they had so many entries. I don't think I heard really much about the entries to this one,
No.
right? Or did
No.
did I miss
I
that?
don't know
No,
if they would make it. The one thing though, they may not make it a news story anymore. That kind of was just like a nice little bow on that, like Bob's
build
Big
up the
Boy.
hype of
Like,
that.
yeah, but I don't think anyone's talking about it. They didn't pay influencers anymore to say that's the greatest thing
Yep.
ever because none of them were saying how great this one was, like they were saying the first one.
Yeah, which is so crazy because they
Yeah, it was
clearly just
just
were like
so
hyping this up,
unauthentic.
but people just
Um,
didn't. I don't think people bit. I don't think people went after this one. I think the price is still too much for people, and I think what they're going with is just going to be a flop. And it's going to
yeah,
be
I
interesting to
mean,
see how long they do this.
and obviously, you know me, everyone who listens to the podcast at this point knows, I'm a sucker for Funko, and even I didn't try for it. Like,
Yeah.
it's just not real. Like, it's just a waste of money. Part of me wanted that first one, but I couldn't justify, especially too, like you have to join the lottery, and then if you get picked, you automatically. It's not like, oh, now you can buy it, you have to buy it,
Hmm.
which I don't like that either. I know that that I'm cool with that with things like sneakers and other things, but for this, I don't know. I wish you had the option.
Hmm.
But also, yeah, like I don't know. I just don't think. I think it's weird. I think Funko really dropped the ball on this, and they went from 0 to like 1,000 in terms of the price point. I still stand by. I don't not like the mold. I think it should have been a little smaller.
Hmm.
Copying companies, which I've said this before, like 100% soft, Mischief Toys, Abominable Toys. That's what they should have done and made them at a price point of like, let's say $50. I do think it would have been huge then. I even think people would have bought them if they thought they were ugly. Like this, and that. I mean, if people weren't buying their diecast Funko Pops, they really think people are going to buy this. And
Yeah.
that's where I thought more and more about this. You're right. Like those, does a lot of people buy those high end designer toys too? Like they're into art. They look at
Yeah,
that as
yeah,
an
art
art
pieces.
piece. It's
Yeah,
not
most of the
a
time it's a
collectible.
designer that actually that's what they call it, design. So it's like an actual
Exactly.
design art designer or artist that actually does these pieces, and they're really not that. But yeah, that's kind of crazy. Just real quick, because I was like scrolling through here and I saw something pop up that I did want to mention. I don't know if you saw there was like a fan rewards like discount thing up to like
Oh,
75%
yeah.
off, right? Um, I one specific post that came up. I don't know if you guys are, fans of these, but definitely go out there if you want to. But the soda coolers right now are on a pretty crazy sale. The X-Men one is only $30.
Oh, wow.
And then
And that show's hype now.
the Peter Pan, the Peanuts one, and the Power Rangers ones are all 50.
Okay.
So that's half off because they're literally normally $100, right? And $30 for the X-Men one, which is I might want to get that because the X-Men show I'm freaking loving. And that is from like the X-Men 97, right? Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
what they
so
did with the
funny
cooler.
because those pops were sitting on there. No one wanted them. I actually went on there today to look at the sale, and I was like, "Oh, I want to get like the Magneto one and the Gambit one." They're sold out, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
"It's."
Now because of the
And
hype.
then they sold. Dude, they were $4.50,
What?
and they were Funko Shop
Uh
exclusives. It's because
yeah, I wonder
that's
if the
just such a
cooler's still up.
perfect example of we've talked about this in the past episodes before. That show got delayed. Funko did not delay the Funko Pops. They put them up. People were iffy
That
about
makes sense.
getting
I was
them.
wondering why, because I seen them coming up and I'm like, the show just came out. Why were there already pops? 'Cause I
Yeah,
remember I also actually it made me think of like that they were just comic style pops and not for that show.
yeah,
And then afterwards I was like, no, they say 97 on them. Like they're for the show.
exactly.
And I completely didn't put two and
It
two
was
together.
a totally bad move by Funko because I think they actually lost money on those. Those could have maybe have been, hot sellers if they were dropping right now as
Oh yeah.
exclusives.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it for the episode. Is there anything else you wanted to
No,
touch on
I'm
or
happy
bring
you
up?
brought that one up because it's just another way of them clearing their inventory and
Hmm.
coming on to bigger and better things for Funko.
Yeah. But yeah, let us know for sure what your guys' thoughts are, especially with the $20 mystery bag. Like with this stuff, are you mad about this? Are you excited about this if you're able to go to Hollywood, or do you think this is even a big deal or not? But it's definitely I think there's gonna be a lot of people in the community talking about this. Not EC, C2E2 will be coming out next week. So we got those announcements. So let us know what you think of some of those pops. And then some of these pre-order stuff, like is the Doja Cat really that cool? It makes sense that that's the first big Coachella exclusive, and as well as the Rock coming out as that the WrestleMania exclusive, which is awesome. But let us know down below. Always, make sure you guys are commenting, like, do all the good stuff as much as possible. We'll be back, back to kind of our
Yeah.
routine of getting back to weekly episodes, and still have to figure out what we're going to do for 100. We did, I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but we did kind of hint towards maybe doing like a live episode
Yeah.
potentially. So we've never gone live. We usually record this the day before. But we'll see. We'll figure something out. But yeah, Charlie let you know where to follow us and everything. Thank everybody for the support. And yeah, until next time.
Yeah. So follow us at Collector Chatter and then at pop_migs at Collector_Charlie. Obviously, that's where you can find us on Instagram. If you haven't already, can you please subscribe to this channel? Please, please, please. Like this video, answer all those questions Migs just asked you. And also one other question I want to ask you all. Are any of you getting these My Little Pony NFTs today? Because Funko's already given them out for free before they've even
That's today, huh? I couldn't
yeah.
even think it was that fast.
I got that is one thing I wanted to mention. I found it really interesting. They're already doing contests to give out packs to people who supported the first drop before the drop even
Trash.
happened. They've never
Trash.
That's them knowing that this is not tracking very well. So let me know if you're going to participate. I know neither of us are participating in these drops. If we're
Nope.
not into the property anymore, we are not participating in them. But yeah, so let us know. And obviously, if you're listening on podcast platforms, follow us over there. Leave us a review. We'd really appreciate that. And then come over to YouTube so you can see all the other videos that we drop here, and you can come see our beautiful faces on the video version. So everyone, good luck if you are going for those NFTs. And don't forget, until next week, and collecting is the way. Later, everyone.
Bye, everybody.